Oh, Andrea Tessmann.
Yes, Kirk Buchner.
I found somebody to help us out.
Oh, good. We need all the help we can get.
Yeah, because like I'm too sexy, you're too sexy, but you know who else? Who else is also too sexy? Not my dog, because he's gonna bark soon. Somebody with the sexiest name ever, Kenny Casanova.
Yes, thank you for having me on the show. As you know, I am a Right Said Fred historian, and I'm here to help you.
That's really good, because I honestly knew very little about Right Said Fred aside from this novelty dance tune. So, yeah, it's been an interesting week.
I've never heard of a Right Said Fred historian, so this is kind of awesome.
You are welcome.
All right. So before I sort of we go any further, I just want to sort of put, and I believe the exact words are, put Kenny Casanova over like a motherfucker.
Do it. Is that what I said? I might have said that. I'm usually pretty G-rated, but I might have said that.
Well, on this show, it's all good. So Kenny's been very, very kind. He's helped me with promoting a book and actually sort of pretty much doing it for me, because I sure as hell didn't know how to do it.
This is true.
It's very true. It's very true. So I am now a published author.
Look at that. How does it feel?
It feels pretty good.
It'll feel even better when you actually hold the book in your hand. I'm trying to get rid of those lines. I see the lines on my screen. You see that? I think they're gone.
Yeah, there were some. Not now.
Maybe they're gone now. I just plugged in hard.
Well, those lines are too sexy for you, buddy.
I know. My computer is too sexy for an HD feed, it seems, but
all good. All good.
See.
So yeah, it is the autobiography of Chavo Guerrero Sr. Instant classic, and Kenny, who has done piles upon piles of books.
Piles.
Wrestler.
Exactly.
Yes.
Who are some of the ones that I've done? Is that what you said?
Well, I haven't said who they are.
If you did, no, I can, I guess. My first one was for Kamala.
Kamala, the Ugandan headhunter.
Look at these lines. You see them. That's weird. I cannot get rid of those. But, all right. Kamala, I did Brutus Beefcake. I did referee Danny Davis.
Mm-hmm.
I did Sabu and Big Van Vader and upcoming Just Incredible.
I didn't know you're doing Just Incredible.
Yeah, about a month it'll be out. It's all set now. I'm actually just kind of getting the cover together. Same as we had some issues with yours, trying to see who owned a picture, trying to see who could put it together with a title and add the text to make it look good. Every time I kind of end up having little difficulties on that. That's the most important part, is the cover, because that's what people see, and as you know, people judge books by covers. So
this is true. Also, Andrea. So Kenny, he was Kim Chi at one point in time. Kim Chi was the handler of Kamala. So basically, he did this a lot. If you're just watching or listening, this won't come out. But this is my impression of Kim Chi.
Stay back. Yeah.
Did I nail that perfectly?
Pretty much. That was pretty good. Yeah.
Andrea's not a wrestling fan, so she's just looking at us like we're idiots.
So Andrea, picture a scientist trying to hold Frankenstein's monster back, kind of thing like that. It's sort of like that.
All right. I get the picture.
Yeah, Kamala is a legend. One of my RIP Kamala, probably one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, he was great. He passed recently. He had a lot of health issues, and as you know, with COVID hitting the planet pretty hard, it hit the deepest, darkest depths of Uganda and
aka Mississippi. But yes,
yeah, in Mississippi, and he had a not so great immune system to begin with. He had lost both of his legs to diabetes, which is why we put the book together for him. Mm-hmm. We did really well, and his wife says that the book actually gave him something to look forward to and kind of brought him out of kind of a funk and stuff. So who knows, man? The people that got behind that, they may have added a couple of years onto his life. I hope that is something we can give back to the fans and thank them for that. So it's pretty cool.
Definitely. So the reason that Kenny's also here, not just because he's an awesome guy who helped me out, but
well, he already said it. He's a Right Said Fred historian.
That's it.
Yeah, but you're how do I put this? A Renaissance man. You a teacher, a wrestler, a wrestling manager, a writer, but also a DJ.
Yeah, I'm a wedding DJ. So I'll give you the lowdown of how all that worked. So I worked in a comic book store. One of my employees went to a wrestling school. I went with him. We started learning how to do the whole thing at a wrestling school. Some of the guys that trained us would come in different times. Bam Bam Bigelow, Superfly Snuka, the Bushwhackers. A lot of different guys came in and trained us. Some of the main staples were Sal Sincere, Tom Brandy, and another guy named TC Reynolds. These guys would come in. They trained us a lot. And I had this karaoke gimmick that I started doing. I did a lot of managing. Eventually, the karaoke gimmick turned into, can you do a karaoke party for me? Can you DJ a karaoke? So I grabbed a sound guy from a wrestling promotion, and we started doing that. Then that turned into, can you do a wedding for me? And then I started getting paid so much money for the weddings that it was like I couldn't do the wrestling shows anymore. So it pulled me out of the wrestling stuff. And I started being a wedding DJ. But then to stick in the business some and work with some of the people that I had made connections with over the years, that's when I started the writing. So that's how you get all of these things wrapped in. And my weekday job was an English teacher. So that's how that kind of fit into the writing. So it all kind of makes sense when you hear it all together, but it does sound like just a list of disjointed things sometimes if you see it on paper.
So you must have played Right Said Fred a lot.
A bit early on. Usually it would show up at crazy parties or something like that. That along with like, I don't know, Mambo Number 5 and maybe
the Cha-Cha
I'm a Barbie
Slide.
Girl, Cha-Cha Slide, stuff like that. Yeah. So it shows that it typically shows up with just a tinge of gayness too. I don't know if we can mention that in
can say whatever we
DPC,
want.
but it always fell into a tinge of gayness if you could. And,
that's
I read a comment on the YouTube video on this song that said this is the most gay and straight video ever made.
Exactly.
Well, one of the brothers is gay and one is straight now.
No.
So when did it come out?
At least one is bi.
It was bi. Oh, I
very, very, yeah.
Okay.
He said he's dated women, and his most recent, I don't know when this interview was, is with a man, but he's never fully said he's totally gay. He's bi. But I can't remember which one
There's
it was.
the dog.
There's the dog. Yeah. So we said that our dog was going to say that he was too sexy because we knew that my wife was going to be coming. I'm way too sexy for my wife.
Well, he probably heard that, Fred was too sexy for the cat, too sexy for the pussy cat, and then set the dog off. He probably is reading the lyrics.
I don't know about this because I think my cat thinks he's pretty much too sexy for anything.
Well,
if we could, let's have the dog finish having his say.
Well, he's got a lot to say, as he usually does. This is not the first time that Jasper, buddy. All right.
And the hits drop and they drop.
Yeah.
The ratings low.
That's okay. Well, that all right. So, Pauline, are you too sexy for this show?
Yes.
All right. My wife's too sexy.
Staying off. Okay.
All right.
Off camera.
This is sort of how we do this. Because
I do think that if we were to go through a comprehensive list of all the different things that Fred has been too sexy for,
please do it.
Yeah, have you compiled this list?
Sure, I've compiled the list. Of course, I'm a historian. I know this list from memory. So, first off, he is too sexy for his love, or my love, or the love. He's also sexy for his shirt, or my shirt, depending on when you are in the song. He's sexy for my land. He's sexy. He's too sexy for New York. He's too sexy for Japan. He's too sexy for your party or their party or a party. He's too sexy for my car. He's too sexy for the car. He's too sexy for my hat. He's too sexy for this song. He's too sexy for the cat or my pussy cat. And that's pretty much a whole list of all the things he's sexy for in the song. So when you want to look through that and you want to find out, areas that we could talk about deep symbolism, like what does he mean by being too sexy for my land, or New York, or Japan, or
well, from what I read, those two, like at this point, they were in their late 30s. So give them credit. I mean, by their late 30s, coming up with a #1 hit is fairly impressive, because that's usually not when that happens. And I forget which one it was who wrote it, and because they had a gym and were making fun, like this was essentially making fun of the people at the gym who were just sort of like looking at themselves in the mirror.
While they work out and they quick take a shot in the mirror. And
right.
If you've ever been on a dating site, you'll know that this is a very common attitude.
I'm married, Andrea, so this is your thing. So all right, so are we swiping here on this there?
But Kirk, at some point you probably were on Grindr or something.
No, I was never on Grindr. Thank you for that. No, I've been fortunate to be with Mrs. Kirk for quite a while before, thank God, the dick pic era. Because and I've said this to Andrea before, there is absolutely no way I could make little Kirk look good.
Little Kirk.
Yeah, it's just not possible. So I've been fortunate that I did meet my wife online, but that was before the pre-camera phone.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank God.
So did you hear the urban legend with this is that, what are the two guys' names? It's Fred and Richard, right? Speaking of Dick. Okay. Like that transition? Did you catch that? Speaking of Dick?
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah. Anyhow, what I had heard is that both of them actually snuck into a studio to record "I'm Too Sexy."
Yeah, and it was a foreclosed. Like the studio was still there, but they've been kicked out because of whatever. So they just like slipped the janitors some cash to use the studio in the dark.
Something like that, but they didn't want to get caught. And they say that is it Fred singing? I don't know. One of them, whichever one. One of them singing is keeping their voice more quiet and down like this, because there's someone in the same building and they didn't want to cue them off. So this is the urban legend behind the song, is that the guy's voice, that signature, "I'm too sexy for my love," like that. Some of that was inspired by, we have to quick record this and get the hell out of here and not be caught, because if we're too loud, they'll hear us. Now, I know when you think about it, there's like in recording studios, aren't there like buffers in the wall that are supposed to hold the sound in and the whole deal? So that story doesn't hold up really all that well, but that's what they say is what caused that the hush voice that he's speaking in. Yeah, that vocal fry.
Yeah. It's sort of interesting though you say that, because like that's sort of like where they've gone their entire career. So we talk about them as
if you listen to some of their other songs, he can actually sing.
He can, but they don't. This is another misnomer too, that they're a one-hit wonder. That is true in the United States and Canada. In the UK, this actually didn't go #1, but they had many #1s in the UK.
They had other songs.
I thought they only had one. Wasn't it Deeply Dippy? Was the
Which I've never heard, but yes, I've heard of.
I've never heard it until I listened to it, and oh my God, is that the most 90s bubblegum pop?
Is it? Nice.
Oh, it's brilliantly horrible. Do 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 do. It's terrible. But it's so he sings in that one.
Nice.
Great, but he's got an interesting kind of baritone-ish voice. It's not nearly as deep as it sounds, but that's because of that vocal fry that he's got going on. Like anybody can go, "I'm too sexy." Like
it's almost like a vampire.
But I appreciate that they're not taking themselves seriously. So they had a stylist make up this look that they had. This wasn't them. They were like raw.
I missed that completely.
Rock, sort of before this, and then so they literally had a stylist that when they put this song out, dressed them in the fishnet and the metallics and the weird look that they they developed.
So I read that they once opened for Suicide, which was incredible to me. Like,
they played with a bunch of like actually big name people before they were Right Said Fred individually.
I have to admit, like when I first saw them, like, so I'm just sort of like putting myself back in the early 90s. I thought, Jesus Christ, these are Nazis. Because that's what they look like.
Yeah, but now you just see them and you go, Vin Diesel?
True. Yeah.
So you got kind of a German feel from them? Is that what you're saying? Like,
yeah,
skinhead.
well, in 1992, there wasn't a lot of
right
to a pair of
buff
skinheads. Yeah, that wasn't typical.
Yeah. Whereas realistically, it's more Vin Diesel or Jason Statham than skinhead.
But they didn't exist then.
So everything about these guys screams Eurovision.
This close to a spit take. Okay.
That's good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
It's, if you listen to any of their other stuff, it starts getting really, so when they talk about like playing with like rock bands and doing like more of an acoustic rock sort of thing, it doesn't mesh at all. But I think they just were sick of not making it in that scene, and then they figured that this Europop figured it out and it worked for them.
And it did. I mean, it was really a fluke in a way, because this is not a song that you hear it and you think, okay, this is going to be a top 10 hit.
And they were denied by like every record label.
And why wouldn't they be? And not, and like realistically, I mean, like at this point, again, late 30s skinheads in the early 90s, but that's what they look like.
They also tried to pretend that they were in their mid-20s.
Oh, did they? Okay, I missed that completely.
Yep.
Well, they could pass for that. At that point.
Yeah, they.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't look old, but it's not typical. I mean, like last week, Kenny, we talked about, or was it 2 weeks ago? I think I told we got hate mail on Captain's Meal for comments. So.
Oh, did you?
We did.
I figure that if as soon as you start getting hate mail, like that means you've made it, because someone cared enough.
True.
To say something mean.
Yeah. Andrea and I need to go back to our crevices that we came from, which is pretty.
Did you wear like a captain hat last week or anything? Did you go that far?
I wish I could have found one.
That would have been nice. I have one, so I should have.
All right. Well, yeah, I still have to get you a Run DMC chain.
That's right. If you sell some books, did you explain that to Andrea? What our deal is?
No.
Our contract is pretty convoluted. Explain the contract.
Yeah. Based on the amount of books I sell, which we never decided how many that is, I have to get Kenny a Run DMC chain.
Like a necklace, like the big fat dookie, like LL Cool J.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my royalty is to.
Well, it's tricky.
Sport some bling. It is tricky. The whole contract is tricky.
Yes. So with this though, when I look at like 92, so this was right around when grunge hit. So like, how did this become a number one? Was it just sort of like everything got so serious, and then so?
I think I read it was like back to back with Right Here Waiting for You, right? That was the one that was competing for the number one spot at the time.
Yeah, Richard Marx.
Yeah.
Well, also it was Bryan Adams that kept them out of number one in the UK.
Maybe I'm thinking of him instead of Richard Marx. Am I? I could be that. I'm scrolling things on the side of my phone.
It's it's I
the
Do
other
It
one
for
that's
Love.
like that. Anything I do it for you.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah. Maybe it was that one. I could be. I confused the two. It's probably that. Yeah. Same type of thing.
God.
So it really, I think it is. I think it was just this silly little catchy ditty, like that just was a nice relief from all the serious bullshit out there.
So Kenny, if you don't mind me asking, so like I'm 49, so like I remember hearing this in the club. So like I think we're around the same age.
Yeah. I'm about a year or so older than you.
Okay, yeah. So like when you were sort of like doing the sort of club thing, Andrea's she's the youngin in this crew. So
yeah, I was 10.
All right. So, but I do remember hearing this like back when I was trying to like work on those Quebec girls. Never worked for me, by the way. Yes. They look at me and say, Tabernacle. No.
So Andrew, what would be your generation's Right Said Fred?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, I'm sure there was something. Oh, maybe Venga Bus.
Oh, the
the Venga Bus is coming, and everybody's.
I don't know though. I mean, that's a one-hit wonder, but I don't get the bi gay feeling, and I don't get the sexuality that falls behind Right Said Fred.
Okay, so that's a good question here. So like looking back at that time, I never got. I mean, maybe I wasn't looking for it. I mean, it was obviously right there in front of me. I never picked up on that whole gay bi vibe. No, I didn't. I mean, I don't know. I didn't pick up on that. Is that something that the two of you saw right away?
It's funny. 10. That's maybe Andrea did, but us growing up, I would say if you want to even go back further than that and think about old TV shows and you look back at it, I didn't understand it as a kid. So I didn't really know what that lifestyle was because it sort of wasn't out when I was a kid. So when I go back and look now, I can say, oh yeah, Thurston Howell III on Gilligan's Island had a little bit of a gay vibe to him, or like different characters like that, or
we call that metrosexual.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, he was the only one who was married, and you're the one who's saying that he was the gay guy.
Yeah, I don't know. It was lovely. Like he just kind of had a little bit of that. There were a number of characters like that, like Paul Lint, who was
Paul Lint was gay,
right? But we never really. I don't know. As a kid, I never heard anyone accuse him of being gay. That's now that I know what it is, and and it's more widely available, I just thought he had a funny voice or something, And now they use him in not Family Guy, the other one,
American Dad. I've been binging that actually.
He kind of talks like this. He says, "Hi, how are you doing?" He has that. So same thing probably with Right Said Fred. I think when it was on, it didn't really strike me as even something to think about. Same with Elton John. Same with maybe even George Michael back in the day. I didn't really think about that type of stuff. So
Liberace, people didn't know he was gay.
Just thought flamboyant, right? But now by today's standards, there's a definition to go along with the visual that you're seeing that,
Well, I think the one guy who did come out as bi, he didn't even know he was at that point.
Who's that?
Which one of them came out?
I think it's Richard, but I'm not positive.
All right. So like
they look like twins. Apparently they're 3 years age difference, but they look exactly the same.
Right.
If you actually looked at their website, it's the two of them wearing the same outfit, riding cats with laser beam eyes as the background picture. So that these dudes take themselves seriously.
Like, this is also around the same time as when every time I think of this song, I think of someone who is gay, RuPaul. Supermodel came around at the same time.
You better work.
You're working that Roger the Alien thing pretty good there.
It's still in there.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it was these gimmick songs right around when grunge hit. It's so strange in a way when, like, historically looking at this song hitting number one right when music got super serious for a few years.
I think it really is a matter of just relief from the seriousness and a ridiculously catchy hook that everybody sings along to, even if you hate the song. Like, I'm a model, you know what I mean?
Well, like that's a good question here. Like, I don't hate the song, but I never got super exposed to it or overexposed. I think only because of the age I was at. So I would have been 20 when this came out. So it was, I'd hear it in the club, but I mean, like, I was more focused on sort of like trying to do other things.
And when did this come out? 92, did we say?
92.
91, 92? Okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't in my face as much, or it was just easy to avoid. That's how I felt. But
what are some of the other songs that were on the club at the same time? I'm trying to think now. Probably Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah, we covered that one.
Good Vibration was probably in there. Yeah. Maybe Rico Suave.
That's another one we got to do.
That was probably another one that was in around at that time.
Yeah. Macarena a little bit after.
Probably some of those. There's a lot of like
there was
one hit wonder raps around that time. Probably Tone Loc and Bust a Move, Young MC.
Remember OPP around that time?
OPP.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah.
Whoop There It Is. Whoop There It Is, or is that too early? Was that earlier than that? Whoop There It Is.
I think it was after.
Whoop There It Is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up. For the wrestling fans that are following this, Whoop There It Is was Men on a Mission's kind of gimmick for a while. Whoop There It Is was 93, so it came out soon after that. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with Whoop There It Is? I'm a Whoop There It Is historian as well. No?
I am.
Tag team back again.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop There It Is was a game that they used to play in the inner cities in the swimming pools. It's kind of not a PC game to play now anymore. Basically, they would surround a girl, pull off her top, and point and yell, "Whoop, there it is." And that's where the phrase came from. And that's what the song's about. So
wow. Okay,
it's kind of a sexual harassment song of sorts. So just
wow.
FYI on that. That's all kind of in the same era. So I would guess these songs were all playing around then. Snow, Informer. These all came out around the same time, I think.
Yeah, or as my wife and I call that, we just call it the Licky Boom Boom Yeah song.
That's it.
We don't know what the hell he's saying. A fellow Canadian actually, who did that. Snow.
He was a Canadian rapper?
Yeah, well, he was a Canadian. I don't know. I don't know if I want to call him a rapper.
So let's look at this. I'm looking at the charts now, so we have some more to talk about.
He did go number one. That's something that we might have to tackle.
Yeah. So number one was Everything I Do It For You by Bryan Adams. Number two was I Wanna Sex You Up by Color Me Bad.
I wanna sex you up.
I went to a 90s reunion festival recently where they had a number of different people like Salt and Pepper and Vanilla Ice, Rob Bass, and Color Me Bad was the open. And it used to be four guys and they were sort of like a boy band, but now it's like one big fat guy and like two other guys. It's almost like he ate the one that's missing. That's not on tour with them.
I believe it. I was watching. It was the NBA finals. Actually, yeah, Andrea, I showed you that because like that was right before we went on. It was in the Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks, and Young MC was playing halftime.
Bust it.
Yeah, and Young MC should just not be called Young MC anymore.
It should be Old MC now.
Well, it should be like middle-aged. I ate. Yeah, Young MC looked like he ate Young MC.
Yeah. So would the Fresh Prince be like the Fresh King now? Should he be royalty? Like
well, I always thought it'd be like the Fresh Prince and hey, are you done with those fries?
That one went over my head. Can you tell me, Andrea? I missed that one.
No, I missed that one too.
DJ Jazzy Jeff has no job.
So yeah, he's at McDonald's.
Probably getting some mad residuals.
He probably gets it. He's a producer now, though. I heard actually for a bit he was the DJ for Biz Markie. So.
Oh yeah, cool. There's a whole lot of money there.
So the number 3 hit was Gonna Make You Sweat. Everybody Dance Now, CNC Music Factory. There's also an urban legend around that, is that Freedom Williams was actually Ice-T, and Freedom Williams was the pop pseudonym, so he would not lose street cred by doing a pop song. A lot of people have accused him of doing the tracks on that, and this Freedom Williams guy was not really him. It was just a model, the same as I even think maybe the girl singing in that was accused to be a different person in the video than actual person recording the tracks.
Yeah.
A la Milli Vanilli, right?
Yeah. Andrea and I, we covered that actually.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not that track though.
Yeah. Oh, no, but we covered it actually indirectly for one of our other past shows. Because again,
Milli Vanilli?
Well, yeah, we talked about Milli Vanilli, and then it sort of segued into Martha Wash. who is the lady for that.
Okay.
But
you hadn't heard the Ice-T one then, huh?
No,
I
never
heard the Ice-T one. No.
Yeah. If you think of his voice, though, if you ever put them back to back with Ice-T's early raps, like Original Gangster and Colors, not the newer stuff that he does with Body Count now, but their voices are very similar. I mean,
that's a really interesting take on it, because when we're talking about Martha Walsh, we're talking about a woman who was denied all credit for her work, whereas Ice-T, he's not wanting, like, I'm sure he was getting paid for it, but he's not wanting.
Yeah, but that's the urban legend, though. I don't think that really.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's been proven. I actually recently started kind of going down the rabbit hole, and I can't find a whole lot of this guy, Freedom Williams. He did one solo thing or so after CNC Music Factory. They say he did some tours here and there, and he sued for the rights to the name, and somehow he is CNC Music Factory now instead of the two guys, Cole and Civilis or whatever the other guy's name is. So Freedom Williams owns their CNC Music Factory name because it hasn't been copywritten.
It's sort of interesting, though, that, I mean, like, that would be something that Ice-T, let's like
makes sense.
Yeah, but it's also the same guy who did Cop Killer, and then 3 years later he's been playing a cop for like 30 years. Yeah. Makes sense, right? I mean, so you're saying he's a bit of a sellout? I wouldn't say it to his face, but
no, I wouldn't say much to his face.
Well, at this point, yeah, I think I could.
Maybe.
I mean, like, look at Ice Cube. I mean, when Ice Cube was doing 911, it was a joke. Did you think that at that point in time, or did he think, all right, yeah, like, you're going to be playing like a cop for the rest of your life? I mean, that's what he does now. I mean, it's so crazy that the two biggest anti-cop guys are now have personal security.
I'm going through the list. I'm just checking out the hits of the 1991 here, seeing if there's something else worth to bring into it. Where is Right Said Fred? I don't even see them on here. Did that make it to number anything on the 40s?
I think it was 92 that it actually made it.
It was way down.
I think it was February, maybe. Came out July 91. It was a big dance hit.
Yeah. So because we always look at the ones that go number one, but like in England, which is interesting, fascinating, that it didn't go number one, but they remained pretty popular there. I was looking at some of the other songs that they did. Like one of this, I don't know if it's a cool song, but there's a song just like, "Hey, You're My Mate." That's a
good party drinking song.
I thought so.
Hey, you're my mate. Your partner's an asshole, but you're still cool.
Yeah.
I'll trash them. Let's go hide the body. I mean, no, that's the spirit of the song.
Jesus, Andrea, what the hell have you been doing there in Victoria?
Who else was in the clubs at this time? EMF, Unbelievable.
Ooh, that's a good
one. Them? Had an Andrew Dice Clay sample in there. Oh,
is that Dice Clay?
Yeah,
is that really?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Unbelievable. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Some of the female vocalists, to kind of get that spot. You had Paula Abdul. You had Amy Grant, who was a Christian singer that turned pop. Mariah Carey had Someday. Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson. This is the whole vibe here. Justify My Love, Madonna. Wilson Phillips.
We did that one, yeah.
You did them?
Yeah,
here's one I like. Let's see. Do you recall Kathy Dennis?
We did. Well, I do. Sorry.
Number of songs. A lot of people have forgotten Kathy Dennis. Little short bob, red haired.
Yeah. She, if I remember right, she had like one of her big hits actually was somebody that Andrea and I also talked about. We just did Rick Astley.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, and Rick Astley, if I remember correctly, was sort of like in the background of one of those songs.
Okay. Touch Me All Night Long was her big hit of this year. We have some more CNC Music Factory, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Summertime. Whitney Houston. Extreme had their two hits, More Than Words and Wholehearted. You guys can always cut me off if you hear something. Divinals, I Touch Myself. I know that's
And
Kirk's
when I think
favorite
about
song.
Well, okay, why? Yeah, I knew you were gonna go there already. I knew that you were gonna take a shot at me there with that, and that's fine.
Let's see.
I think she's dead now, which is disturbing. The lead singer.
Oh, the Divinals?
I believe
Maybe.
so.
I think I might have heard something like that. You're right. How about this DNA featuring Suzanne Vega?
Yeah.
Tom's Diner.
That's the
one.
I was working in the diner at the table on the garden.
Oh, the Divine.
Such a boring song.
Let's see. Seal's Crazy. Poison, Something to Believe in. Like you were saying too, if we were talking grunge, this is right in the area of glam into grunge, and then glam will be left behind. Chris Isaac, Wicked Game, which is one of my karaoke go-tos. I sing that song when I do karaoke.
All right. Interesting. Okay.
Do you have a particular karaoke go-to song? And would it be Right Said Fred?
No. Mine is do you think I'm sexy? And the answer is usually no, because people leave the room.
Oh, okay. So I pictured you doing.
You could supplement that with "I'm Too Sexy."
Right, you could do a mashup and mix them both together, and at the end, rip your shirt off like Hulk Hogan and expose like an olive oiled torso.
Well, I could, but I mean, if I were to do that, I mean, like Jesus Christ, the body is just disgusting.
So coming in at number 89 was Rico Suave, Gerardo.
Yeah, actually, Andrea, we did Do You Think I'm Sexy? Just because
I think you chose it because it's your karaoke go-to.
It's my karaoke go-to song. Yeah,
That
not
sounds
down
like a
here in
good one.
Barbados. I've never done that down here because, well, no, I won't go any further with that. But
Whenever he mentions Barbados, I always say wherever the F you are, like when we're texting each other.
yeah, that's so true.
So I've got a few karaoke go-tos. One is one we've done, which is These Boots Are Made for Walking.
Oh, okay. All right.
Also, Black Horse Cherry Tree.
Oh, nice. That's a good one.
And Bitch.
Oh, I'm a Bitch, I'm a Lover. Sophie B. Hawkins.
No.
What's her name?
What is her
Here's
name?
another one-hit wonder. Meredith Brooks.
Meredith Brooks. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, no, Sophie B. Hawkins is Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover. Right?
Oh, yeah. That's a pretty good one, too.
Yeah.
I was a karaoke DJ for a long time. Every Friday of my life since 2004 until COVID, I was in the same place for 2.5 to sometimes 4 hours with karaoke. And I have like a whole little thing that I would do. Like I have these little shtick, and eventually we got a screen and we would put, on a big screen, I started playing music videos and the whole thing. But there were a number of like people that came in with, their favorites, and you could see commonalities, like certain songs were big everywhere. Like Meatloaf was a big song. For a while, Right Said Fred would be one when people just wanted to do something totally ridiculous. Love Shack was another one that we would see a lot. Love Shack was another big one.
There's a few that should be banned.
True.
Anything
what would you put on that band
4.5 minutes is
totally.
not okay for karaoke. You should not be singing American Pie.
Right.
You should not be singing Paradise by the Dashboard Lights.
Right.
I'm sure there's more, but
there's a bunch of them. Freebird's a big one. It depends where you are too. I mean, sometimes if you go, if you're in kind of like the hick hole in the wall, there are country songs, and other ones more urban, but yeah, totally. Those are Paradise by the Dashboard Light. When anyone put that up, I always push that off and try to do other songs first, because why put up that one asshole that wants the spotlight for 7 minutes when you could get up 2 other people for 3 minutes? So totally agree.
And everybody loses interest after 3 minutes anyways.
Yeah.
If we're going to do that, hold on. I gotta bring something here.
Is he going to the bathroom?
I don't know. Please don't. Please come back with pants on, Kirk.
I have pants.
He wasn't too sexy for his pants for this?
Yeah. Let me sleep on it, baby.
Nice. What are you holding? What was that? It looked like the
tea towel. I've just been doing my laundry.
Oh, I thought it was like a cloth napkin with marinara sauce on it.
No.
That would be.
I'll give you an answer in the morning.
Nice.
wasn't that, who was on that? Oh no, that wasn't Katie Seagal. She did something else. Okay.
Who's the girl in that? I don't know who's the woman singing. I don't know.
Didn't Katie Seagal did something. Actually, no, she sang.
She did something with Kiss,
Simmons.
didn't she? Yeah, she did something with Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Kiss.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Kiss is, it's weird that like all the, like why we sort of started doing this show, Kenny, because it's the songs that went number one and the artists we don't talk about are insane. Bob Dylan never went number one. Although if you've heard about what's going on with Bob Dylan, somebody accused him of, he's thanking the Taliban right now because like that, right, that's when somebody came out and said like he was grooming them.
Really?
Yeah. It's just like came out like just came out like last week.
So are we canceling Bob Dylan? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
or is it he's on the do
I'm
not playlist right now?
The cycle has overridden it for the time being.
Yeah,
someone else.
This is just my way of just saying like when Bob Dylan was sort of like grooming this girl back in the 60s, he went, "How does it feel?" Thank you.
That's where it comes from, or that was the punch?
No, I don't. That's no, but apparently that is true. Like this one woman did claim, whether that's true or not.
All right.
Who the hell?
Well, we'll see.
I don't know.
Jesus Jones, another 1991 one-hit wonder, I think. Jesus Jones,
right here, right now.
Real. Maybe they have 2 hits.
I thought it was right here, right now. I don't remember them with anything else.
Real. I know real.
But yeah, because like we can't talk about on the show. We can't do Bob Dylan, The Who, Kiss.
Because if they have more than one hit.
No, because they never hit number one.
None of them
they didn't even hit.
One.
Okay.
The thing is, Billboard is very much pop. So
yeah, really
I was searching hard for some grunge.
Hardly
Couldn't
any
find
of it
anything.
did.
No.
Yeah, like that's sort of like why I pushed the show to Andrea. It's like this is something that like it blows my mind, some of the nonsense that went number one and how some of these songs are iconic, and then some of the songs that are iconic songs didn't hit it. I mean, like Bob Marley never even had a top 40 hit in the United States. So
not don't worry.
No, never.
Three Little Birds. Three Little Birds.
Nope.
That's what it's called, right?
Nope.
No.
Nothing.
Okay.
Not even top 40.
Huh.
Though every single stoner in the world knows that song.
Right.
And there's a lot of them.
I mean, it's boggles my mind that we can't talk about Bruce Springsteen, but Andrea and I did a show about the Singing Nun.
All right.
Is that yeah, no, I mean, like that's nice. That's why we do this. Just and then yeah, we're gonna have our big 1-year anniversary show with what did we decide?
I don't remember. That's coming up in a not too distant future.
Yeah. Crap.
Kirk, how do you know Andrea actually?
We used to be neighbors.
Oh, okay. All right.
We were neighbors. I worked with his lovely wife, and we lived in staff housing in nice little apartment condo type units with basically a shared yard that our dogs were buddies. And I really enjoyed the mornings where I'd let Opal out and he'd let Jasper out, and then at some point we'd both go out with our coffees and be like, oh, the dogs have gotten themselves tangled up in their leads and they're not making any noise, so they're just sitting there like, oh.
And then sometimes it would just sort of like at night too. Then we would just like sit out drinking because
that's pretty much what we did.
Yeah,
we had fires and we drank.
Yeah,
and we talked about music.
Yeah, because like up there, like in Canada, well, because we were like in the Great White North, so. Yeah,
don't be a hoser, eh?
Yeah, but in the summer, right? Like the sun didn't go down until 11. So like we would sort of barbecue out. I mean, like Andrea's been at our place just for a dog birthday party. Like we did stuff
there
like
were
that.
Dog birthday parties. There was just a beer.
Yeah, exactly.
There was, hey, I got some new cool foreign beers. Let's try these.
That's usually what it was. Yeah, because like I would always come up with something kind of.
Or there was like a group of us that any one random person would have a little fire, and then we'd all just gravitate.
Do you up in Canada? You just like listen to like Mackenzie Brothers and shit, or?
True. Yes. Yep.
Mostly tragically hip, really.
Tragically hip, and we all diss Nickelback.
True.
So let me ask you
Canada
this too,
rules.
back on the Right Said Fred, because I could be wrong. I looked through all of 91 and I couldn't find Right Said Fred for what they call, the top hot 100 songs. It used to be the top 40, but then they changed it to top hot 100 Billboard. But Right Said Fred is number 13 on 92, which would mean they caught on the year thereafter their release. I'm looking at number 13. It says I'm Too Sexy, Right Said Fred. I'm 92. So did it stick around long enough to hit the charts a year after it was released, and then we didn't really pay attention?
Because it was in England, right? So it's just like we look at the number, we look at the charts in the US.
91 it would make sense, right?
Yeah, because even though Andrea and I are both Canadians, we just go from the American point of view.
Right. Wow. So, but yeah, I'm looking at it. It's 13 on 92. So for anybody that was going to send the hate mail to say it never made it, I'm going to fix that right now.
Yeah, they send it. They send it to me, and it's all right.
But surpassing, unfortunately, our topic of the evening, Right Said Fred, is Crisscross Jump Jump. I'm a big fan.
Dad'll make you
jump.
That could happen. But
Dad will make you jump.
That one I'm gonna have to wear my pants backwards for.
Wiggity 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 whacked. That should definitely make, I think, the show some.
It will.
Oh, it will.
But this is
one of them has passed since, right? And the other of the Milli Vanilli, one on both of those groups, one guy is gone. I think they should put it together and make like Chris Vanilli or Millie Cross or something like that. It would be a neat mashup. You think?
I think it'd be great.
So. I think you're onto something.
I think that would work.
I think it'd be good. So this is the part of the show where we ask Andrea, because Andrea, we alternate. Andrea, what are we doing next week?
Ask Andrea.
We are going to do a Canadian band that made it to number one 5 years after they actually broke up.
Oh, okay. All right.
We are doing Sheriff.
I don't even know what that is.
So this band literally broke up, and then a DJ decided to put this super cheesy love song, like just late 80s sappy power ballad out there 4 or 5 years after they broke up, and they made it to number one.
Wow.
All right. I like it.
Sounds almost as sweet as Jackal, in my opinion. The Jackal.
Nice. So with that, Kenny, thanks for being part of this show. What can we plug for you, buddy?
Why don't you check out my book site? That's where I make my money, whw.com. Stands for Walking on Hot Waffles. That's my production company. whw.com is where you can get my books. And if you want to hear more about me, on most of the platforms, Kenny Casanova, and you can go to kennycasanova.com.
All right. And just a bit of blatant self-promotion. We're on This Crap was on national television. We've decided we're going to look at Joni Loves Chachi.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is good. I like that.
Yes. And pretty much the way I sort of look at this, I don't think Chachi really cared about Joni whatsoever.
No, he had that sweet thing he tied on his leg, though. So make sure you make mention of that. That bandana on his leg.
That's true. Yes.
That was his gimmick. So
yes. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna look at the pilot of Joni Loves Chachi.
Much love.
Yeah. All right. Stay safe, everybody.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming, Ken.
Thanks.